Kabbalah for Complete Life Management, Chapter 12, Rabbi Michael-ben-Pesach, Portnaar. To see a person from his inner inspiration and goal. Characteristics of a human being. A human being has a package of egoism that he has to transform into the good. A human being is someone who can receive the light. A human being can feel a lack. A human being can be satisfied, not just as an animal after feeding, but also when he's lacking physical things, food, drinks, etc. A human being, notice, there is a shortcoming in his inner development because he sees the perfect light opposite him. A human being strives for the good in himself and in his surrounding. A human being cares about others, and this is very special. A very special mark of a human being is to feel the pain of another person, stronger and heavier than his own pain. When the pain is more than your own pain, we see the beginning of a human being. This isn't something given to us by nature. We have to develop and practice this special feeling. Only the light is good. What we have doesn't near the light. Light is the quality of absolute unselfishness, and we're lacking this quality. A very important step to experience this is to feel pain for others and project them within you. This is a great secret. When you feel only your own pain, you are within your ego, within your own prison. You have to be receptive, otherwise you can't feel the pain of others, and we have to be receptive for the light also. With this you are building up a great special organ of awareness. It is easier to endure the pain that is coming from others. Through this it is possible for you to increase your inner volume. And the next step will be that you are capable to feel the pain and shortcoming from the whole world. It is a huge increasing of your need. In this you receive the perfect wholeness, the perfect remedy. A short story about a vagrant and an addict. Once upon a day, I was walking with my wife on the streets of Amsterdam. About 20 meters before me I saw a homeless person bundled in a blanket coming into my direction. He smelled awfully. It is to say, I'm very sensitive for odors. It is my outer being. I wanted to go to the other side of the bridge, but then I thought, when I do so, I will offend this person. Then I got the feeling of pain, and I said to myself, no, I can't do that. I thought about several reasons why he couldn't be living a normal life, because in the Netherlands, there's a very good social system. And when I took over his pain, something wonderful happened. The awful odor wasn't any longer annoying for me. To feel his pain was that enough. Shouldn't we have the need to give him something physical? On another day, when it was raining, I saw an addict begging against the wall of a house. She asked for money. We had in our bag a banana, and I gave her the banana, but she threw away the banana back to me. I saw she had rather money so she could buy some drugs, but for this longing I don't have any feeling. I could feel her pain, but to free her from her pain I had to give something different. Of course you have to give, but not in a way the other can make abuse of it. It is very important not to make the control system of the universe corrupt. What is happening when you take over someone's pain? This is a very important thing. It has to be done with the right intention and the right strength. It is only possible to take over the pain from another person when you're receptive. Something wonderful is happening when you do so. In a way, the one who has pain makes the light feels sad. We are made in his image. He wants us to develop. When a person takes over the pain from another person, the pain will be brought on high. The one who's taken over the pain has a certain reservoir of wishes, and the pain is being brought in there. He has become a pleader to the higher for the other person. Although I feel the pain, I don't ask for solution for the pain that is mine. It is the desire wherein lies the pain from the other person as well the pain that is mine. I'm asking for the other person, but the cry comes from me, from the deep inside of me. There's a law. When you ask for another person, it is you who receive first. In a way, I stir up in the higher spheres an effective resonance. There is only one single connection between human beings and the strength of the universe, regardless if we see this or not. But it was me who stirred up this strength, so I am the one who received. And this is not the only thing. I receive double health, double blessing. I'm the first one who's receiving relief of the pain just in the measure I'm in need of. And the amount from the other person goes to the other person. We can't see or feel this secret, but you have to know, nothing disappears from the inner of the universe. All strengths are for them who wake up the good. Does the vagrant receive while he has done nothing? He receives because I made the effort to be receptive for him. He didn't do anything. And this is possible because we are all connected by way of our roots with each other. A mother does not only give her child because it had done something good. Even a naughty child receives from her. It is the same with us. You could be receptive for the pain of others, but never penetrate their field. Don't interfere. This is also a law of the universe. If you do so, you will damage yourself and the other. Why? Because we aren't corrected. Therefore, we have to be very careful in showing our mercy to others from the outside. If you do so, he may feel less and ashamed, although he doesn't show this to you from the outside. Drawing 12. Please refer to the written material. As you will see on the right side, there's willingness, and the left side is severity, and the middle is light, my root. And you see person B and person A, and you see in the middle me. Please examine this drawing. Your own territory, 2 by 2. Adam was the first man who became conscious of the laws of the universe. When we read or hear Adam was created, that is what has been meant. It is said he could see from one point of the world to the other point, meaning he had no boundaries. He was whole and he had an absolute connection with the laws of the light. But when he started to receive for himself in an egoistic way, his comprehension lessened dramatically. Even the reach of his work area, wherein he had to work, decreased. Then he and his offspring continue with the egoistic receiving in all kinds of ways. Through this, the area around a human being decreased enormously. And in this area we could receive the shining of the light in a direct way. Now we have to make corrections to bring ourselves in agreement with the laws of the universe. Every living being is under protection and the government of his own high root, and through this he can grow. In some culture this is named the aura, but we don't speak about central magnetic fields of strengths because they are material, although very sensitive. The root of a person is much higher, within a limited area of about 2 by 2 meters around a person. He can rise up to its root in the higher realms. This root is his guardian angel, and this personal angel reports to the light in a higher space, or in a higher sphere. And from there it rises further up to the infinity. Within these 2 by 2 meters, a person can do his corrections. In a way, it is a column of circa 2 by 2 meters around a person. This is the limit mankind had to deal with as a result of his egoistic receiving, and it will last till the eventual ultimate correction of the whole mankind. Be aware of your area. It is 2 by 2 meters. Beneath a person, we see the area of his observation within this world. From the left and the right side, he receives a radiation or jamming that enters his area through small windows within these 2 by 2 meters. There are 2 forces, willingness and severity. From the left we see jamming of the intellectual, and from the right the jamming of the heart. When there is an oversensitivity, excessive attention for the heart, he will lose his intellectual insights. It is not the intention to make shudders within you. Don't escape to a monastery or to a desert because you only run away from your own corrections. These jamming are there because within the area of the 2 by 2 meters you aren't strong enough. Let the radiation enter inch by inch and see. You feel the interference due to the fact that you are still not strong enough, and yet in your territory 2 by 2. You can pass the radiation inward so that it does not overwhelm the inner work. The idea that every moment is allowed to draw a portion of an external interference in your own territory, but not so much that you are pulled out of your 2 by 2. So do not let yourself to draw by something out of your own territory, because it feels as if the light left you and there's no protector anymore above you. Your guardian angel is above your 2 by 2 meters and nowhere else. It is this light surrounding you, wanting to enter you, shine on you, wanting to give you all the blessings, your life, your health. In everything, we see the particular and the general. The particular always is within the individual, within your territory of 2 by 2 meters. And within this field, you can do your corrections. In this field, you feel expectations. At the same time, there is the general, what you experience in a certain surrounding. Here, in this surrounding, you give up your territory for the common good. Of course, your special territory exists always, but only in this particular environment you will uplift yourself with your feeling and become part of the general, while at the same time you feel within your field the jamming of the left and the right, till the moment you have enough strength to enter your inner and to build it up. For example, noise that is irritating you is a reaction of the outer being. We don't have to stay in our world forever. Start to grow from the inside so the noise that is entering you by way of the windows won't make you angry any longer. In this way, you can uplift yourself within your own territory of 2 by 2 meters. And within the area, or within this area, you receive help and the shining of your own root and from the light. Our world is broken. All our inner wires of connections are broken. It is possible to show your feeling to another person, but we're separated from each other, just as we're separated from the strength of the universe. This is the reason why we think we have freedom. We don't experience the connection with the higher strength. When we have reached our inner being, it seems we are losing our free will because now we feel the connection with the light. What was broken here below will be restored from above. In our world, slowly the wires are restoring, although in a very thin way. It can only grow when we correct ourselves. Left is the system of pure forces. Left is the system of the impure forces. This word impure gives us a special feeling, but we have to overcome these associations. In the right, we have the system of the pure strength, and we are between these two strengths. The higher you rise within your inner, the more you feel oneness between these two strengths. We have to integrate these two, and it has to become the middle line, but they will exist. Drawing 13, my own territory, 2 by 2 meters. Please refer to the written material. Everywhere you go, your own territory goes with you. If you come into the territory of 2 by 2 of another person, then you're transgressing and even defiling through your interference in the affairs of others. His right for privacy and personal freedom. Do not listen to the stories about inner experience of others. Another person who opens his heart to you undergoes damage from telling you, throwing out the inner and hidden outside just for nothing, and also from the fact that you listen to it. Also, you will get a blow from above for listening to it. Therefore, if someone begins to reveal to you his heart, run away from him as far as possible. How? In each case, walk away from it so that it hurts the feelings of the narrator as little as possible. Beware of a widespread manner in communicating between people. Let's talk about it. In a nursing home, there is no other favorite topic of conversation than the concentration camps. Please take into consideration only when you do not rent your heart to another person and vice versa, you remain independent and you will eventually be able to adopt the pain of others. Man has no right to come into the own territory of 2 by 2 of a strange woman, but only that of his wife, because he is connected to her. Both partners for life still remain their own territories of 2 by 2 with their own individual channels to their spiritual roots. On the other hand, we are all connected in the light, in accordance with the same principle, general and particular. Drawing 14. Don't interfere within the area of another person. Please refer to the written material. In this situation, you penetrate within the area of the other person, and now not only you restrain yourself, but also the other person. And in B, in this situation, you don't penetrate within the field of 2 by 2 meters of the other person. In a way, you have no business within the own area of the other person. Try to feel from your own root the pain of someone else. Collect the pain of the other person within your 2 by 2 meters. Together with your own wish, take them both up high to your root. And from your root, all the good comes down. Now you don't bring your pain, shortness, or lack up high, but it is for the other person. When you do this in an upright manner, the solution and blessing you had aroused will come from above down to you first. But your intention is not for yourself. Never do this for your own good. The work is to bring it within your field, but the attention may not be for yourself. What is happening with the pain of the other person you have experienced and taken away? Don't care about it. The only care was to bring it up high within your territory of your 2 by 2 meters. You can find these 2 by 2 meters everywhere in the universe. These are the 4 corners, and they are in agreement with the 4 places of the 4 commandments within the person. If you work within your own field, the light shines upon you. And what was, is, and will happen is not your care. The only thing you had to do was to plead for the other. And above there is tremendous greater reach than your 2 by 2 meters. From above, we are connected with each other. The blessing comes from above through the canal. It comes from the root of the vagrant down to him. Sometimes we don't understand why we receive something while we didn't have a feeling for it or didn't expect to receive something. We weren't conscious, but another person was. He had felt your pain. While you were yawning, the other opened his awareness for you, and the light, and the blessing came back to you. Be greedy for the learning. It will go faster and faster, and without any trouble, it will enter you. The inner doesn't need the mass information. The rough information is there only to carve little trails within your inner being, within your organs of awareness. In a way, every being has to work within his own area of 2 by 2 meters, and on the other hand, he has to occupy himself with others. In Kabbalah, we are speaking of one person, one human being, because within a person, there is everything. And while we're taking in the wishes of the other, we are increasing our canals of receiving. Don't take only pain and negative things. Please take over his success also. Isn't it better to give the vagrant some money instead of taking over his pain? How does this work? Am I only working for myself, or do I indeed help him? From above I have my root, the strength lying in my root, and further there's the endless light, and from there it comes down in endless varieties. Every person has his own root, even the person from whom I have taken the pain. You already know there are the particular and the general. In the particular, I have my personal root. And through this root I am connected. In the general, there are roots working with each other. The vagrant has his own root. It was me who had done an inner effort to take over the pain from the vagrant and to bring it within my field. As we have told above, we have windows, and by way of these windows, a person take on all kind of shining, as well the high shining as the low shining. The opening to the outside within a person is named field of awareness. There are people who only see misery, always nagging. They only feel good when they can nag. Know who you are. In what way are you manifesting yourself? Is everything good in your opinion? Or are you the one who sees it different? It is you who is the reason for the nagging. I receive by way of the windows, the radiation, and through these windows I can feel the pain of the other. Pain is also an aspect of the light, so is pleasure. It is strength. Pain is the opposite of pleasure, but the source is the same. When you admit you have shortness, you are already in a very high level. When this is an acceptance within yourself, you can work on yourself. Without pain, there is no development. Pain is a direction of something. When you notice it will benefit you, choose for it. A child wants immediate pleasure. Some adults are like children. When the pain leads you to a higher awareness, brings you closer to your goal, accept the pain, but never search for the pain. I am the active. Don't part when I take over the pain. Of course, I have my own package of shortness, and with this package I plead by way of my inner being to the light. And now I add pain from the other person, just as a wagon is connected to a locomotive. Through the power of my will, I pull it above, because it is me who wants to be in agreement with my root. And in my root, there is no shortness with regards to the pain. And when I do so, the shortness I have will be uplifted too. And by way of the higher canals of my root, it will go to the endless light. And from the endless light comes a reaction, a remedy, in the measure of my willpower and intention. And it is my root that receives the greatest part from the high light. And after a while, it is me who receive also a portion. The secret is this: I pull up high from the other person, but there is a law. My petition will be answered first, because it was me who did the pleading. It was me who pulled the wagon. And through this, my package of receiving organs will become larger. The greater the shortness, and of course I have to build up within the inner the strength to pull up, the greater the answer will be the remedy. Through the pain of another person, I am making my shortness larger, and it is me who receive the most when I do this with great intention and with great sincerity. What is happening with the other person? It was my request that goes to my root, and much further. Above my root, the area is much larger than the 2 by 2 meters. You can compare this with a distribution system of power. There they can see all the connection, as well the general and the particular, between people. Their appreciation is tremendous when they see a person taking over the pain from another, and when people are looking for agreement with each other. In the higher spheres, everything is one, whole, united. The higher you come, the more oneness. It is like a pyramid. It was after the dwelling of Adam that there became more and more differences. In a way, people were disconnected from each other through the work I do here below. For example, by taking over the pain from someone else, I connect myself with other persons. And from above, they give me an enormous strength. And it is me who received first, because I had done the work. Nothing disappears in the inner world. The laws of the universe are absolutely righteous, but the pain wasn't mine. Therefore, a part of this pain will be distributed above my root. For a part, it goes to the root of the vagrant, and he receives a part of the medicine from above, although he hadn't any part in it, and although he doesn't know me. My inner being is connected with all inner beings. It is the outer being that is disconnected. There has to be oneness once again. When I close myself from the pain of the other, I can't receive nor experience anything. In a way, one is too much absorbed in one's own pain. If you don't like the smell of another person, don't think they will give you from above a nicer smell. The control system is for people who are growing up. From above, everything is connected, is whole, one. The more you come down, the more it is separated. But when we bring our qualities in agreement with our higher roots, the result will be seen here on earth. With your inner part, you can look below, and you will bring all the perfect laws to below and lift the world up. The endless light had said to Abraham, who lived according to the 4 commandments, "He who blesses you, I will bless too, and he who curses you, I will curse too." He who goes with the flow. You need a lot of strength in order not to be jealous when a person has everything and to feel gratitude for his happiness. It is easier to take over the pain from another person than to accept his happiness. If one has misfortune, my pain will be less. But his happiness isn't mine, just as his pain isn't mine. How can we be happy through his happiness? It would be marvelous to have the strength to share their happiness. You would go forward very fast because we are connected with each other, although we don't feel this with our outer being. So what is gratitude? It is the same as with pain. Let his happiness pass through your windows, just as you did with pain of another person. If you can't do this, you will close the door for this part of the light. When you can't be grateful, you receive also a part of his happiness. When not, you close your field of 2 by 2 meters. And then miseries will be your part. When you complain And it doesn't matter when you're right or not, you close your field of 2 by 2 meters. You have only to deal with your root, not the root of another. Everyone has his own root. The root of a tree doesn't feed the root of another tree. Each tree has branches of its own. I am satisfied and grateful for the person who has much happiness, and I bring up his happiness. How? By way of gratitude, mercy, and by praise. Feel satisfaction and be happy for him, for everything the light is giving him. Know the light is good. Evildoers are dead while they are living, although they are living here on earth. They need a lot of effort. It would be logical if the control system would reward them. When I want the inner, I am prepared not to be rich or to feel satisfied even with little, because I want to come in agreement with the light. He who has happiness works very hard in this material world. A director creates workplaces, etc. They receive according to their investment. Try to justify this too. Think about a politician. All the sorrow he has, the sleepless nights, all the endless meetings, missing their family, shake hands, have criticism, etc. Feel gratitude for their earthly reward, but also be grateful for your enemy. How? It is the same as with pain. Make a package of their happiness and pull it up with your request, or by praising, pray the high strength, and you will broaden your receptive organs, and my prayers will cause a glorifying reaction from above. Every good petition is built according to the laws of the universe, and these petitions always begin with the praise and then make your request. Suppose you're going to the queen. First you have to bow and praise the queen. Then you may become nearer, and if so, with a deep gratitude, you will look up to her face so she can see how you're appreciating her. She feels you love her. It is the same with the inner, and your lower being will not annoy you. All strengths will go up. My praise will go to my root, then to the servant, and eventually arrive at the Ein Sof. My praise is not for what he gives me, but for what he gives to the other person, even when it is my enemy. Especially the last brings the most profit. Learn to give to others. The praising of the light for another person restores your inner oneness and of others. Nothing comes from above when it hasn't been awakened from beforehand from below. In this you do here below the work of the higher strength. Drawing 15. Please refer to the written material. The outcome of the oneness we have realized is an enormous radiation. It is me who received first because I stirred it up for the other. It was me who woke it up. It goes beyond my root, up to the distribution of the universe, because this is a very justifying system. All roots of all the beings are connected in an organic way. The root of the vagrant, my root, and the root for he who is always lucky from above. We're all connected with each other. Above is harmony, and here below we lack harmony between the roots. And by way of this system, he who is always lucky receives even more. And he is receiving so much, he comes to the feeling he wants to be generous, although he doesn't understand this feeling. It is the quality of the light that is feeding him with the feeding to give. Here below, we are coming more and more in oneness. The person who has always luck and doesn't work on himself is as a child. It doesn't matter. You can take them on, the vagrant or the lucky one. What you do is making tracks of good actions. One good action wakes up another good action. Every good action is the base for the next good action. This gives you strength to do more and more good actions. You have never too much strength, though this you build up strength, and slowly you are pleading for your friend, neighbor, your street, your environment, the city, your country, and the whole humanity. There's no place for anonymity. Take everything within your 2 by 2 meters, the worries and happiness of all the people. With this you justify the control system of the whole world. The angel of death will even love you, meaning your own evil will be surprised of all your acts of giving. And though this is the wish to receive for yourself, and through this the wish to receive for yourself will die, will stop to exist. There are the positive strength and the accuser. And the accuser will point right away when you do something wrong in strength. You can't bribe this accuser. He searches for the hidden death. He can't find anything wrong when we are doing our good deeds, even when we suffer pain in doing so. When you only think about yourself, there will never be an ending. The intention is we have to come to liberation, and you can do this by lifting up your field of 2 by 2 meters, and after the corrections, return to your own place. During the training, I put participants in a wagon and pulled them up in an inner way. I pull them up and it comes back by way of your root, as is explained above. Even if you don't understand, accept it. Drawing 16. Refer to the written material. We are always speaking over one being in Kabbalah. We have talked about the vagrant and he who always have a piece of luck, and about myself. But in truth, we're only talking about one person. I have these 2 by 2 meters, and within this I have 2 strengths, the left and the right, willingness and severity. All these are experiences of the inner world, and these are the steps for the fields of strengths, to comprehend the laws of the universe. Communication in this is only possible when we're on the same level. Of course, there are more levels, but we haven't the comprehension for these levels, and we lack the words to explain. I will, in every participant, start an inner process of the true self-knowledge. And what you have to do is to be receptive. In our world, we can't experience these inner steps from the fields of strengths because there are no screens or inner fields tangible. All inner connections are broken. Drawing 17, everything is within one. Refer to the written materials. The vagrant, he who has luck. We have to take in these opposites in ourselves. We can have a feeling of fullness and later we can feel lonely and poor. Both strengths are within us. We have to live with them. Learn this. First there is the awareness. They are outside of me. And slowly I bring them inside, deeper within me. Through the left side I make contact with the vagrant. Everything in the world is built according to the system of agreement and quality. We have to do the same. It isn't impossible to come with the canal of the vagrant. It isn't given to us to look in another field of awareness. The only thing I can do is to make contact with the vagrant by way of my left, uncorrected side. Bring to memory the 5 questions and the 5 answers as you have learned. Do you still remember them? It is always your reaction. Don't react outside your 2 by 2 meters. When you do so, you're doing adultery. In our left, we feel shortness. This is the side where we feel heavy, the severity. What you have to do is to build up the strength to go to the other side, the side of willingness. The light himself brings us to the middle line. I know it is hard to understand. It all goes far beyond the reason of a human being. As long a person only longs for willingness, he is a child till the moment has come he feels he is growing from the inside. It is hard work. We have to do this inch by inch, and in every step we have to mix severity and willingness. The true reality is the middle line. Both strengths have to be within you in the right measure for it to have a perfect burning response. It is a fire versus water. The one gives flavor to the other and vice versa. Every day we have to work on the integration of these 2 powers. For instance, your computer has broken. The first reaction is from your outer, the one that is in need, but your reaction pulls you away of your own field of the 2 by 2 meters. The task you have to do is to go from the left side to the right side, and through this, the true reality will be the result. The light of solution will only come if you have done the work in the left side as well as in the right side. The result of this will be the middle line. Don't think we can do good deeds. If we have only the right side without the left side, it is as faith without reason. The left line is the side of our need, and it is a faith within reason. The line in the middle is the line of faith above reason, or we say about this line, to go beyond the reason. And this light is the light of instruction from the laws of the universe. When we're working, when we're working on ourselves, we will come to the experience of both lines. The outcome is the feeling of coming above waters. When you're in the water and you rise up, first your skull will rise above the water, then your eyes, your nose, etc. It is the same with all the 10 fields of strength within the inner being. If you're underwater, you only feel severity. And your ego is connected to the severity. When can you only nag, you experience only severity. But when you're on the other side, the feeling of only good, you don't see the severity, and this isn't good either. When you see only willingness, you're underwater too. Willingness without severity is as faith below reason. Everything is one being. Through our own strength, you are learning the whole universe. Drawing number 18, the path to my root. Please refer to the written material. Whatever you do, do it with sincerity. What you do it with all the strength you have in you. Otherwise, don't do it. There has to be awareness for 100%. Only then you can work with your receptive canals completely. When you are hungry, eat. Not because it is 12 o'clock, but because you're hungry. When you eat at 12 o'clock, it has to do with the culture of your country. When 12 o'clock is in your country lunchtime, be hungry at 12 o'clock. Only then you can give the strength, have the pleasure for the food. See in everything your field of 2 by 2 meters. Every nation has his 2 by 2 meters. Every nation has a root of its own in quality and protects a country. You can compare this with your hand. The fingers of your hand are connected with each other. Each finger has a protecting root, and the whole hand has a protection too. The higher, the more common the protection becomes. The higher you come, the closer you near the endless light, the inner root. The more widely, further the strength will be spread in the universe. In your inner, you can see the entire nation because everything is in one being.